For the 7 lakes, and by no man these verses, rain, empty river, a voyage, fire from frozen cloud, heavy rain in the twilight. Under the cabin roof was one lantern, the reeds are heavy, bent, and the bamboos speak as if weeping. Autumn moon, hills rise about lakes against sunset. Evening is like a curtain of cloud, a blur above ripples, and through it sharp long spikes of the cinnamon, a cold tune amid reeds. Behind hill the monk's bell borne on the wind, sail past here in April, may return in October. Boat fades in silver slowly, sun blaze alone on the river. Where wine flag catches the sunset, sparse chimneys smoke in the crosslight. Comes then snow scur on the river, and the world is covered with jade. Small boat floats like a lantern, the flowing water clots with the cold. And at San Iena there are people of leisure. Wild geese swoop to the sandbar. Clouds gather about the hole of the window. Broad water. Geese line out with the autumn. Rooks clatter over the fishermen's lanterns. And the light moves on the north skyline, where the young boys prod stones for shrimp. In 1700 came Tsing to these hill lakes. A light moves on the south skyline. State by creating riches should thereby get into debt. This is infamy, this is geryon. This canal goes still to 10 shy, though the old king built it for pleasure. Kai men ran kai, kyu man kai, jitsu getsu kokwa, tan fuku tan kai. Sun up, work, sundown to rest, dig well and drink of the water, dig field, eat the grain. Imperial power is, and to us what is it? The fourth, the dimension of stillness and the power over wild beasts.
Children are dumb to say how hot the day is, how hot the scent is of the summer rose, how dreadful the black wastes of evening sky, how dreadful the tall soldiers drumming by. But we have speech to chill the angry day, and speech to dull the rose's cruel scent. We spell away the overhanging night, we spell away the soldiers and the fright. There's a cool web of language winds us in, retreat from too much joy or too much fear. We grow sea green at last, and coldly die in brininess and volubility. But if we let our tongues lose self-possession, throwing off language in its watery clasp before our death, instead of when death comes, pacing the wide glare of the children's day, pacing the rose, the dark sky, and the drums, we shall go mad, no doubt, and die that way.
This is the one song everyone would like to learn, the song that is irresistible, the song that forces men to leap overboard in squadrons, even though they see the beached skulls. The song nobody knows because anyone who has heard it is dead, and the others can't remember. Shall I tell you the secret? And if I do, will you get me out of this bird suit? I don't enjoy it here, squatting on this island, looking picturesque and mythical, with these two feathery maniacs. I don't enjoy singing this trio, fatal and valuable. I will tell the secret to you, only to you. Come closer. This song is a cry for help. Help me. Only you can. You are unique at last. Alas, it is a boring song, but it works every time. Now you know, don't listen.
All saints revile her, and all sober men, ruled by the god Apollo's golden mean, in scorn of which we sail to find her, in distant regions likeliest to hold her, whom we desired above all things to know, sister of the mirage and echo. It was a virtue not to stay, to go our headstrong and heroic way, seeking her out at the volcano's head, among peck ice, or where the track had faded beyond the cavern of the seven sleepers, whose broad, high brow was white as any leper's, whose eyes were blue, with round blue lips, with hair curled honey-coloured to white hips. The sap of spring in the young wood astir will celebrate with green the mother, and every songbird shout a while for her. But we are gifted, even in November, lowest of seasons, with so huge a sense of her nakedly worn magnificence. We forget cruelty and past betrayal, heedless of where the next bright bolt may fall.
What stinks of cement and aluminum bashed open their skulls and ate up their brains and imagination? Moloch, solitude, filth, ugliness, ash cans and unobtainable dollars, garbage heap of eyebrows and brains, children screaming under the stairway, boys sobbing in armies, old men weeping in the park. Moloch, Moloch, nightmare of Moloch, Moloch the loveless, mental Moloch, Moloch the heavy judger of men, Moloch the incomprehensible prison, Moloch the cross-boned soulless jailhouse and congress of sorrows, Moloch whose buildings are judgments, Moloch the vast stone of war, Moloch, the sun's government. Moloch, whose mind is pure machinery. Moloch, whose blood is running money. Moloch, whose fingers are 10 armies. Moloch, whose breast is a cannibal dynamo. Moloch, whose ears are smoking tombs. Moloch, whose eyes are 1,000 blind windows. Moloch, whose skyscrapers stand in the long streets like endless Jehovahs. Moloch, whose factories dream and croak in the fog. Moloch, whose smokestacks and antennae crown the cities. Moloch, whose love is endless oil and stone. Moloch, whose soul is electricity and banks. Moloch, whose poverty is a specter of genius. Moloch, whose fate is a cloud of sexless hydrogen. Moloch, whose name is a mind. Moloch, in whom I sit lonely. Moloch, in whom I dream angels. Crazy in Moloch, cocksucker in Moloch, black love and manless in Moloch. Moloch, who entered my soul early. Moloch, in whom I am a consciousness without a body. Moloch, who burns down the love of the world. Moloch, whom I abandoned. Woke up in Moloch, light streaming out of the sky. Moloch, Moloch, robot apartments, invisible suburbs, skeleton treasuries, demonic mills, blind capitals, ghostly bureaucracies, spectral nations, invincible madhouses, granite cocks, monstrous bombs. They broke their backs lifting Moloch to heaven. Pavements, trees, radios, tons, lifting the city to heaven which exists and is everywhere about us. Visions, omens, hallucinations, miracles, ecstasies, gone down the American river. Dreams, adoration, illumination, religion, the whole boatload of sensitive bullshit. Breakthroughs over the river, flips and crucifixions gone down the flood. Highs, epiphany, despair, 10 years animal screams and suicide. Mind, new love, down on the rocks of time. Real holy laughter in the river. They saw it all. The wild eyes, the holy yell. They bade farewell. They jumped off the roof to solitude, waving, carrying flowers, down to the river, into the street.
Aus der Hand frisst der Herbst mir sein Blatt. Wir sind Freunde. Wir schälen die Zeit aus den Nüssen und leeren sie gehen. Die Zeit kehrt zurück in die Schale. Im Spiegel ist Sonntag. Im Traum wird geschlafen. Der Mund redet wahr. Mein Aug steigt hinab zum Geschlecht der Geliebten. Wir sehen uns an. Wir sagen uns Dunkles. Wir lieben einander, wie Mohn und Gedächtnis. Wir schlafen wie Wein in den Muscheln. wie das Meer im Blutstrahl des Mondes. Wir stehen umschlungen im Fenster, sie sehen uns zu von der Straße. Es ist Zeit, dass man weiß. Es ist Zeit, dass der Stein sich zum Blühen bequemt, dass der Unrast ein Herz schlägt. Es ist Zeit, dass es Zeit wird. Es ist Zeit.
There was a sunlit absence. The helmeted pump in the yard heated its iron. Water honeyed in the slung bucket, and the sun stood like a griddle cooling against the wall of each long afternoon. So, her hand scuffled over the bakeboard. The reddening stove sent its plaque of heat against her, where she stood in a flowery apron by the window. Now she dusts the board with a goose's wing, now sits broad-lapped, with whitened nails and measling shins. Here is a space again, the scone rising to the tick of 2 clocks. And here is love, like a tinsmith scoop, sunk past its gleam in the meal bin.
The trees are coming into leaf, like something almost being said. The recent buds relax and spread. Their greenness is a kind of grief. Is it that they are born again and we grow old? No, they die too. Their yearly trick of looking new is written down in rings of grain. Yet still the unresting castles thresh in full-grown thickness every May. Last year is dead, they seem to say. Begin afresh, afresh, afresh.
Later, I look out at the moon. I lived here once. I remember the song. Later, no sand here. Moon on linoleum. A child frowning. Later, a voice singing. I open the back door. I lived here once. Later, I open the back door. Light gone. Dead trees. Dead linoleum. Later. Later. Blackness moving very fast. Blackness factory. I live here now.
Это прошла вторая отраженная ударная волна. Постепенно поры воды, сконденсировавшиеся за фронтом ударной волны, рассеиваются, раскаленное облако уходит вверх, увлекая за собой гигантский пылевой столб.
Niemand knetet uns wieder aus Erde und Lehm. Niemand bespricht unseren Staub. Niemand. Gelobt seist du, niemand. Dir zulieb wollen wir blühen, dir entgegen. Ein Nichts waren wir, sind wir, werden wir bleiben blühend, die Nichts, die Niemandsrose. Mit dem Griffel seelenhell, dem Staubfaden himmelswüst, der Krone rot, vom Purpurwort, das wir sangen, über, oh über den Dorn.
Wenn das Schaukelbrett die 7 Hügel nach oben entführt, gleitet es auch von uns beschwert und umschlungen ins finstere Wasser, taucht in den Flussschlamm, bis in unserem Schoß die Fische sich sammeln. Ist die Reihe an uns, stoßen wir ab. Es sinken die Hügel, wir steigen und teilen jeden Fisch mit der Nacht. Keiner springt ab. So gewiss ist's, dass nur die Liebe und einer den anderen erhöht. Die Rosenlast stürzt lautlos von den Wänden und durch den Teppich scheinen Grund und Boden. Das Lichtherz bricht der Lampe, dunkel, Schritte. Der Riegel hat sich vor den Tod